Peace and welcome back to the Modest Prepper. Now today we're going to be walking through how to organize a halal pantry for preppers step by step. And we'll cover shelf labeling, long-term storage using Mylar bags and food grade buckets, and also how to keep a simple prepper inventory and how to rotate your pantry every 3 to 6 months. So why does organizing your halal pantry matter? Organizing your halal pantry is not just about having neat shelves, but it helps us avoid hidden haram ingredients, preventing food waste, making meal preparations and emergency planning just that much easier. Because when everything has a place, you can prep calmly and you can do it confidently. Now, one of the easiest ways to stay organized is by labeling our food and then also labeling our shelves where we put the food, because this keeps similar foods together and it prevents confusion during busy weeks or emergency when you're just trying to grab and go. So this is some categories you can use. These are some categories I use as well. You can have your shelf labeled by your grains and rice, beans and lentils, proteins, cooking oils, sauces, for your snacks and your quick meals, and for long-term storage. And I do it this way because clear shelf labels help you see what you have at a glance, and it makes rotation that much easier. Now, another thing we can do is store our foods in Mylar bags and food grade buckets. And that's really for long-term halal food storage. And Mylar bags and food grade buckets, they're really essential to keep your food long-term. And they're not expensive at all. You can get food grade buckets from your Home Depot or Lowe's. You can get your Mylar bags you can go to Walmart. You can go to Target. You can even go to Amazon and buy it in bulk. And that's for storing things like dry goods for your rice, your beans, your lentils, oats, pasta. They really store best this way. Now, some steps for the Mylar storage is to, number one, fill the Mylar bag with your dry food, whether that's rice or whether you're doing it with beans. You add your oxygen absorbers. Now, for beans, your lentil beans or your navy beans, I like to store it with bay leaves too, because that helps keep it fresh and store for a while. Also, make sure you're sealing the bag completely. Make sure everything is pushed out of the bag, no extra air. Make sure you put the sealed bags into food grade buckets, and then label each bucket with the contents and the day that you actually stored it. And if you want to put on there, can store up to 10 years or 20 years, you can put that on there too. Now that we have started storing our items, you want to make sure you keep everything organized. Organization is the name of the game when you're talking about prepping and when you're talking about stocking up. Because if you don't know what you have, when you bought it, how long it lasts, we're really just wasting money and setting ourselves up for failure. So another thing that is very important to do is to keep a halal prepper pantry inventory. That's something you can type up, although it would be better if you have something written down in a book you can have and store it away. Because a prepper inventory, it helps us know exactly what we have, what we don't have, what we need, and how long it lasts. So our inventory, it can be simple. You can put it in a notebook, you can have a printed checklist, or you can do a notes app on your phone. I would recommend having something you can see, or you can type it up on an Excel spreadsheet on your computer. You have that option as well. Some things that you want to have on that inventory sheet. You want to have the item name. You want to have the quantity of it, the storage location, and the date you stored it. And you want to have things broken down so you can see it visually as well. You can write down how much food you have. For instance, if you have beans, you can say, beans, I have 300 pounds of beans, which will last X amount of days for X amount of people. Another category is a hygiene, because you want to make sure you have your soaps, your lotions. You want to have things that keep you clean, because if things collapse, famine come, Hygiene is one of the first things that suffer, and that can lead to disease and sickness. So you want to make sure you have your list of hygiene items that you have. Another category is medicine, whether that's over-the-counter medicine or whether that's medicine that you have on hand with you that you have to take. You want to make sure you keep inventory of what you have with that as well. And utilities, you want to keep track of the utilities that you have. By utilities, I mean batteries, flashlights, if you have a wood stove, if you have wood, if you have anything that you may need to have with you, candles, trash bags, whether you have some lighters, toilet paper, a generator, gas, paper towels, Mylar emergency blankets, tents, sleeping bags, anything that you may need or you have. You want to make sure you have that documented with dates so you know exactly what's on your prepper inventory, and you want to know what you need more of. So that way, as you're starting little by little, you can continue to build up each time you get paid or you have some additional money. You're like, hey, well, I have a certain amount of beans now. I can get rice. So I have food. Now I need water. I have food and water. So now let me start getting the deodorants, the wipes, the toothbrush and toothpaste, the medical supplies, the first aid kits, aluminum foil, instant coffee. You get the point. So this helps you build up your pantry so you know what you have and you know exactly how long you can survive if you had to stay in your home. Now, this definitely helps me because it prevents me from overbuying, and it can help me rotate the food on time, because I know I'm not the only person where you buy canned goods, whether you see the winter storm that's happening now or anything, and you start buying stuff and you realize you already have it, and then you have the canned good in the back of your cabinet, and then you finally pull it out and then it expired 2 years ago. So then we just waste the money, and we don't want to do that. Another tip, rotate your pantry every 3 to 6 months, because rotation is one of the most important parts of halal prepping. In our pantry, we want to move any older items to the front as we're stocking up more. We want to use the store foods in our daily meals so that way we are using what we purchase, replace what we use so we don't get low, and then also make sure we update our inventory accordingly so that way our inventory is up to date. Now, a simple rule is to store what you eat and eat what you store. Now, my final tips that we have for this video, what we always want to do, we want to keep halal certified items clearly marked so we know what that is, where it is. We want to avoid mixing bulk food with open packages to prevent cross-contamination. We want to use airtight containers and label everything clearly. And also stay consistent. We're not going to be perfect at it, but you want to be consistent in what we're doing, because organization should bring peace. It shouldn't bring pressure. In addition, if we have a well-organized halal pantry, it saves us time, it saves us money, and it saves us stress. Because when we have labeled shelves, proper long-term storage, a simple inventory, and regular rotation, then we can do it confidently. We won't have to worry about it. And just a disclaimer, I'm not a halal scholar, I'm not a certifier. I'm just simply sharing my personal halal-friendly prepping methods that just help me and it help my family, so that way we don't get overwhelmed, because it can get extremely overwhelming if you're wondering, okay, everything that's happening, what do I buy, when do I buy, it costs so much money, I don't have it. If we just start little by little, then it will be easy. I'll be doing a video in the future on how to do it on a limited budget. That way, no matter if you make 6 figures a year, if you don't make 6 figures a year, if you're working on limited income, we'll be able to do it no matter the budget. So these are some tips for our halal prepper organization. That way we can keep everything together. I'll be sharing more tips in future videos, and I hope you like this video. If so, please share it with someone who it can help as well. And remember, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. So until next time, this is the Modest Prepper reminding you to take care, stay grateful, and prep with intention.